MP Blanchet-Jonca has the floor.
Oui.
So if you can read the motion, please.
Merci beaucoup, Madame la Présidente. Souhaitez-vous que je la redise depuis le début ou avec
Would
les
you want me to read
manquements?
it from the beginning or just with what was missing in the translation?
Je reprends mon souffle et j'y vais. Attendu que les 3 conseils fédéraux de la recherche, le Conseil de recherche en sciences humaines,
Whereas the 3 federal research councils, SHRC, NSERC, and CIHR, CIHR promote research on research, which requires access to high-quality data, that the committee requests the government to direct the Tri-Council to develop a data management protocol and a secure data transfer process to allow for the evaluation of funding distribution, that this protocol aims to make accessible in a disaggregated, anonymized, and secure form all data relative to submitting funding applications, whether funded or not, for all student and faculty funding program beginning the master's level. That the data set include all anonymized and disaggregated variables necessary to assess equity, fairness, and potential bias, including but not limited to career stage, field of research, language of application, institution type, and researchers to conduct rigorous equity or bias analyses also be made available wherever permissible under federal privacy legislation. That the Tri-Council harmonize data definitions, coding structures, and documentation across their respective agencies to ensure the comparability and usability of the released data for equity and bias analyses. That access to these data be granted to accredited researchers who have received approval from a recognized research ethics board, and that such data be shared under a security protocol consistent with the international 5 safes model used by Statistics Canada and its research data centers. That this process complies with all relevant federal privacy and data governance legislation, including the Privacy Act and the Directive on Privacy Practices. That the government assume responsibility for coordinating this process and submit to the committee within 30 days an action plan specifying the organization responsible for the data retention and transfer, the anonymization and security procedures, as well as the implementation and dissemination timeline. That's complete. Thank you very much to my colleagues for their collaboration and their team spirit.
Any debate? Seeing no, is it the unanimous consent to adopt the motion, or do we need to have a vote? Unanimous consent. Okay, so we have the unanimous consent to adopt the motion. The motion is adopted. Congratulations. Good to see the committee members working in collaboration. Seems to be holiday spirit. Okay, so... Thank you. So that motion is adopted. Yes, MP Noor Mohammed.
Madam Chair, I would like to return to the motion that I had previously tabled in respect of the minister's appearance at this committee. I understand there's been discussion. We had obviously begun debate on it. I understand there is some, we may be able to also address that one today and get that done with. I understand there are some amendments to it that we may want to discuss, but I'd like to see if we can go back to that motion, if we might, please.
Okay, so can you please read the motion?
Very well, indeed. The motion read at the time that the committee invite the Minister of Innovation, Science and Economic Development. Well, we already modified this, I thought, but anyways, the Minister of Science, Innovation, Science and Economic Development, and the Minister responsible for SEDQ, Melanie Joly, to appear before the committee on the topic of her mandate on or before February 5th, 2026. That was the original motion we had put forth. I understand that there is a desire to amend it. We've had discussions around potential amendments, and I think we're all in agreement. So that was the motion that we had initially begun with.
Okay, so we have the motion moved by MP Noor Mohammed, MP Baldonelli.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And again, I've been speaking with some of my colleagues, and we have...
one person at a time. Let the interpreters listen.
And I have proposed amendments to suggest to my colleague on his motion, and I'd like to share that with my colleagues now so that they can review, and then we can ultimately come to a decision on the motion. So I'll share those with everyone now.
Okay, so are you you have them in both official languages? Okay, so we will get them distributed to the members. I will read the motion once again, so because I think something was lost in the interpretation, that the committee invite the Minister of Industry and the Minister of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Innovation, Science and Economic Development, and the Minister responsible for CEDQ, Melanie Jolie, to appear before the committee on the topic of their mandate separately for 2 hours each on or before February 5th, 2026. And if the ministers... and if the ministers do not appear on or before February 5th, 20, the chair automatically report their failure to appear to the House. Okay, so. We have the amendment moved by MP Baldonelli, MP Rana.
So, Minister, Artificial Intelligence been here already, so we want to, Honorable Member, want to call him again in here?
Again, this is to discuss both ministers.
MP Baldonelli.
Thanks. I thank my colleague for his question, but again, these are related to mandate. I mean, yeah, no speakers.
Okay, so MP Nur Mohammed.
I know my friend opposite would know that I'd be remiss if I didn't ask if we can do an hour each for each minister.
So are you moving an amendment?
I'm just asking a question, then we can
Friendly
see where we go from
amendment?
there. If he has to be willing to accept it, but, you know.
I would prefer 2 hours again, and then we'll see what the minister schedules. Again, I was quite disappointed with the fact that we didn't have the minister appear for the full 2 hours on the AI study and instead only appeared for the one. So I would, again, ask that the 2 hours remain in the request.
Okay, so
do it. This is
MP
fine.
Nur Mohammed.
It's in the request. Let's see where we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Seeing no further debate, do we have the unanimous consent to adopt the motion as amended by MP Baldonelli? The motion moved by MP Nur Mohammed as amended by MP Baldonelli. Agreed? Everyone is in agreement? Oh, good. Okay, so the motion moved by MP Nur Mohammed and as amended by MP Baldonelli is adopted. Okay. I would like to ask the members that is it all right if we can do the drafting instructions for the two reports on the EDI and the AMR today so that the analysts can work on and we can have our draft report when we come back? Is everyone okay? Okay, so just 1 second, let me finish. The drafting instructions are done in camera, so we will have to suspend the meeting because we are in public and then move in camera and give the drafting instructions. MP Blanchet-Jonca.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Moi, j'ai pas de problème à
Thank you,
tenter de
Madam Chair.
démarrer.
I have no problem with starting with the drafting instructions for the next reports, but it's just that we hadn't anticipated doing it today. So usually when we know about it, we get ready and we want to make sure to give good instructions. So I am comfortable with starting to do that, but I'm wondering maybe if we have other adjustment to bring to it later, maybe we could do that in the next few days so we don't delay the work of this committee. I don't know if we can look at that.
To decide and let me know that if we would like to go ahead with the drafting instructions, we can do them today. If members are not prepared, then we will have to wait and when we come back. MP Noor.
So, I mean, in fairness to everybody, I guess if the question is, you know, one is if Monsieur Blanchet-Jonca has not had the time or has not had the time. Obviously, we're working on a lot of other things to give the drafting instructions. One option could be, if everyone agrees, is that we begin the drafting of the
I have something like, based on my discussion with the analyst, if everyone is not ready today, members or like each party can send in the drafting instructions in writing to the analyst by, like, say, by which date you would like to have them?
December 23rd.
By December 23rd. Each party someone can send them to the analyst. Okay. So if the members desire, the drafting instructions can be sent to the analyst by December 23rd in writing so that they can start working on the draft report. And once we come back, then we will see when we can do the go through the draft report.
And that, I mean,
And
we'll still get the draft reports when we return. That won't the 23rd won't delay you from having draft reports.
Okay, I will pass it on to the analyst to let everyone know.
The exact schedule is hard to determine in advance. It will depend on the length of the report, but we should be able to get it to translation by mid-January and potentially for review by early February.
Okay, so does that seem good with everybody?
That's both reports, correct?
Yes. Does seem that good for everybody? MP Blanchet-Jonca.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Peut-être juste nommer les
Thank you,
rapports.
Madam
Hein?
Chair. So you just named them. You talked about the ones on criteria of excellence in research funding and antimicrobial resistance, just to make sure that everyone's clear with that.
The committee meetings for that. Now, because we have passed the motion on additional one meeting for artificial intelligence, we will have to do before we can give the drafting instructions. And after that meeting, we will have the summary of evidence, and then we can go into that. So it will be for that too. Okay, so please, before the end of the day, December 23rd, send it to the clerk of the committee, and that will be circulated to the analysts so they can start working. Okay, any other business? MP Blanchet-Jonca.
Madame la Présidente, je vous permettrai
Madam
de
Chair, so I would like to give my best wishes for the holidays to all committee members, as well as the members of the scientific community who are listening to us, where we hope they have quality time with their family and their friends. And also I'd like to thank all people who allow the work to happen, the analysts, the clerks, the interpreters, all the technicians who are with us. Thank you for your good work, and thank you for helping us advance science in Canada.
Liberty to, on behalf of all the members of this committee, thank the clerk of the committee and our amazing analyst for all the work which they do, because without their work, it is difficult to get this work completed. So thank you to our amazing analyst and our clerk, and it has been a great session. We have done some important work. So, and I would also like to take a moment to thank all the members for the work which they have done on this important committee. The scientific community, the researchers are looking towards the work which we do. And also a big thank you to all the staff on all sides. The staff of the MPs, as well as the staff from all the whips offices and the House leaders' offices, because I think it is not possible for us to do the work which we do without the help of our staff. And yes, I'm coming to that. Special thanks to my staff who puts in a lot of time on that, Jeff Jedras. And also a big thank you to our interpreters for all the work which you do. On behalf of all the committee members, big thank you to all our interpreters. I hope all the members, all the staff will have good holidays. From my family to your family, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and all the best for 2026. Let's do the work. The Canadians have sent us to do it here, and I'm really excited to get into 2026. Thank you. And Is it the will of the committee to adjourn the meeting? Okay. Thanks for all the collaboration today. The meeting is adjourned.